Hello, and welcome to Questioning God. Today, we're diving into one of the most universal questions of human existence, the search for happiness.
I mean, this question is everywhere, right? It's woven into just about every ad we see, every social media feed we scroll through. Society is constantly telling us that happiness is this goal out there somewhere. It's a finish line you cross if you just get the right product or take that perfect vacation or get enough likes and validation. But is that really what it's all about?
You know, there's a name for this approach. It's called hedonism. The idea is pretty simple. Good feelings equal happiness, bad feelings equal unhappiness. And look, pleasure is great. We all enjoy it. But we also know deep down that this kind of happiness, it's often so fleeting. The thrill of a new car fades, right? The high from a great vacation disappears the moment you're back to the daily grind.
Okay, so psychologists actually have a term for this whole experience. They call it the hedonic treadmill. It's this feeling that you have to keep running, keep chasing bigger and better experiences just to feel the same level of satisfaction you felt before. And frankly, it's exhausting. This cycle can leave us feeling completely drained and, in the end, deeply unfulfilled.
It's interesting. Even thinkers like Martin Seligman, who founded positive psychology, saw this problem. He argued that true fulfillment goes way beyond just feeling good. It's about being deeply engaged in what you do and finding real meaning by contributing to something bigger than yourself. And that's a huge step in the right direction. But what if we could go even one step deeper? That's where Christian thought really comes in.
And this brings us to the absolute heart of what we're talking about today, the crucial distinction between happiness and something much more profound, something the Bible calls joy.
Now, this is what I find absolutely fascinating. Look at the origin of the words themselves. Our English word happiness comes from the old word happenstance, which literally means chance or circumstance. So your happiness completely depends on what is happening to you. If things are going your way, you feel happy. If they're not, you don't. But joy, this biblical concept from the Greek word chara, is totally different. It's an internal state of being. It's like a deep wellspring inside you that doesn't depend on your external circumstances. It's unconditional. It's abiding.
So how is that even possible, to have this deep sense of well-being that isn't tied to your situation? It sounds great in theory, but let's look at a powerful real-world example of this principle in action, the Apostle Paul.
I mean, let's be real about Paul's situation for a second. It was objectively awful. He was in prison, probably some cold, damp cell. He was chained to Roman guards 24/7 and was facing the very real possibility of being executed. So if you're measuring by happiness, his score was basically zero. His circumstances were terrible.
And yet, it's from that very prison that he writes these unbelievable words to the church in Philippi. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Think about that. He's not just suggesting it, he's commanding it, declaring it. This shows the difference so perfectly. He wasn't happy about his chains, but he was somehow joyful in his chains.
So where on earth did this joy come from? Well, clearly it had nothing to do with what was happening to him. It was anchored in something completely unshakable, his deep personal conviction that God was good and his relationship and trust in him, no matter what was going on outside. His joy was rooted in a reality that was way deeper than his physical prison cell. Paul's example is incredible because it shows us that joy is possible even in the worst of times. So how do we find it? Well, here's the secret. You don't chase joy. You can't. It's not a goal you go out and achieve. Instead, joy is a byproduct. It's the natural result of living your life with a particular focus. So how do we cultivate it? Well, it really boils down to three key practices. First, we intentionally work to deepen our relationship with God, who is the ultimate source of all joy. Second, we actively cultivate an attitude of gratitude, focusing on what we have instead of always complaining about what we don't. And third, we turn our focus outward, away from ourselves and towards serving other people.
And all of this, it just ties so perfectly into what many believe is our core purpose as human beings: to live for the glory of our Creator and, as the old catechism says, to enjoy Him forever. And that enjoyment, well, that isn't just simple, fleeting happiness. It is this deep, abiding, circumstance-proof joy that can only come from being rightly connected to our source.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The question for each of us isn't just, how can I be happy? Maybe a much better question is this: are you spending your life chasing that fragile, wave-tossed thing we call happiness? Or are you intentionally cultivating the unshakable anchor we call joy? Shifting your focus from one to the other might just be the very beginning of finding the deep satisfaction you've been looking for all along.